Hey guys, this is Cam315, and I'm joined by my co-host, the Red Wolf, and we are back again with another Dragon Quest episode review for you guys. Even though the end of Summer of Anime 2021 is concluding, Dragon Quest for like the third or fourth straight season is still continuing until we get the eventual end of this story. Yeah, let's get into it. This is Dragon Quest episode 50. A lot actually better episode than we were led to believe based on the preview.
That's what I call good advertising.
Yes. What we did call good advertising is, well, we start the episode off like how I predicted, or how we predicted that the Royal Guard members weren't going to probably be easily defeated like that. But what was the unique way of how they were somewhat defeated?
The golem guy, actually, the rook, actually was the one who got taken out.
Yes.
Yeah, he pretty much took the hit for them.
Yeah. So he took the hit. His whole back side of his body is like just hollow and it's nothing. And obviously, the other Royal Guard members are like, okay, now it's time to pay for what you guys did. Now, I guess you can say they have a bit of an advantage because now it's 4-on-5, but all right. But Albanos is like, no, we're gonna just not do anything. We're gonna retreat for now. Make sure you guys get healed up and everything. Also, too, we see Sigma. He comes up and he just takes his shield back and he is like, yeah, now that we saw your ultimate move, that's not gonna happen again, and we're gonna make sure of that, especially with my shield now. So yeah, but it looks like they're all gonna fight. But Almanas is like, no, we're not. We're done. We're gonna go re-heal. You got wounds. Him, freaking blocks over here, damn near half dead. We got damaged. I got chipped a bit. But him's like, no, I want to stay and fight and stuff like that. But this is when we see, who shows up.
Oh yes, the king himself, as you may say, Lord Hadlar.
Yes. Now Hadlar shows up as a projection. It's not really him, because the real body of Hadlar is at the Field of Death, and essentially Hadlar goes in to say, listen. What my Royal Guard members were doing is, since they're essentially the protectors of the Field of Death, they were giving you a test. And essentially, the Royal Guard members essentially say, like, oh, the people who are left standing are worthy on entering the Field of Death. So clearly you die and your friends are the ones able to. And even Hadlar is like, we don't want all these other weaklings to show up. We just want you to show up. You and your feeble friends to show up because they want to kill them and they don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, essentially he said the people who are not left standing, they're unworthy of entering the Field of Death. And they said, I don't want the Field of Death to be just splattered with unworthy warriors' blood. That would be a disservice to King Vern. So they essentially just all dip and they leave, and they're like, we'll see you next time, and I can't wait to fight again. They all dip now. What is the one thing him says before he goes?
He says to Hyunko, like, I hope Hadlar orders me to kill you.
Yeah. Let's just say he still hasn't gotten over his little I don't know, his impaled head or something like that.
No need to lose your head over it. Sorry.
So I definitely think we're getting him versus Hunicle. We're definitely gonna get him versus Hunicle in some of the final battles. So yeah. Now, they get back and Hadlar asks the Royal Guard their thoughts on Dai and his friends, and they're like, they were competent fighters. It's gonna be fun next time we fight them and stuff like that. But yeah. Now, one of them, I think it's him that asked, where's Frenbren? That was the guy that I totally forgot, the guy who was fighting Pop. And Hadlar's like, oh, he went out to go take out some rat or something that's sneaking around the Field of Death. And this is when we kind of get to the interesting part of the episode. Now, what does Chew make the little sea slime do that the sea slime essentially finds?
Yeah, he sent them to look for like I don't know the entrance to Dark King Vern's palace, I guess,
Yes.
which he finds out is underwater
Uh-huh.
later on.
Now, when the sea slime comes back, Chew's already confronted by Frenbren, and essentially, the sea slime tells him like, okay, I saw this gate. Essentially, it's called, and stuff like that. Now, Fenbren's like, oh, that's great, you found the gate, and the gate's called the Dark Citadel Gate. Now, Fenbren goes on to say it's the only entrance to Dark King Vern's palace, Dark King Vern's Dark Citadel, essentially the entrance to there. Now, she was like, oh, really? Thank you for telling me that information. I'm gonna go back to die, and tell them. But Fenbren's like, that's not happening. So he uses a whoosh spell, gets them down, and essentially is like, you see, you made 3 mistakes. Your first mistake was trying to escape when there's no way of escaping from me. Second, he's like, you can't even think about entering the palace because the palace is supercharged with dark magic. And he also goes on to mention that that gate hasn't been opened for centuries. Now, Shu asks, like, okay, then how are you guys able to get into the palace? He's like, there's a special type of zoom spell that is able to get us within the palace. There you go. Mm-hmm. I forgot what the third thing is he mentioned, but the third thing, I think it's like, oh, you're not coming out of here. Oh, I remember. The third thing is like, you won't have time to tell Dai about all this because you're gonna end up dying anyways, and stuff like that. Now, what is the one thing that Fenbren tells Chew that he's different compared to the other Royal Guard members?
He is very cruel.
Yeah, he doesn't. I guess you can say he doesn't really have any honor.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well,
he's one of those guys.
Yeah. I guess some merciless killer. Now, what do we see in this entire fight Shu try to do but fails epically?
He what's that move called again?
I don't know. It's his, like, I guess, sonic spin ball attack with his head.
Like he just goes into him, but he gets hurt badly because his body is made with blades and stuff.
Yeah, and the reason why he did that is because the sea slime was about to get killed by Fenbren, and Chu is like, I'm gonna protect my comrades, and stuff like that because I'm their captain. So nice stuff for Chu. Nice development for Chu, showing that he's a lot more honorable than he is. Frenbren ends up impaling Chew, and it looks like Chew's going to potentially die. But what was the shocking thing about this episode before we get to the next shocking thing?
Gomez-chan, actually.
Yes, I did not see that coming.
Yeah. Well, I always thought there was something special about a golden slime, but
yeah. I'll just say Gomez-chan essentially charges up. And he actually attacks Fenbren, and it manages to give a nicely made dent in Fenbren's armor, and actually damages him a bit.
Yeah, and that's when Fenbren starts losing his mind and stuff.
Yeah, but Chew and the other animals, the sea slime and the pterodactyl, they all jump on Gomez-chan to protect him, but Fenbren's like, get out of here, you weaklings, and he's kind of just slashing back and forth at Chew and them. And then who comes up to save them?
Surprisingly enough, Mr. Baron, Dai's father.
Yes, and literally stabs him through the frickin' eyes, and Fenbren can't see who he is. Now, don't ask me why, I guess you can say why Baron didn't just cut off the top part of his head. No idea, but we know probably Baron, the Royal Guards are probably nothing special to him.
Yeah, like, he doesn't really give a damn about what they do.
Yeah. And that's kind of how the episode ends off. We do before that all happened, we do cut over to Dai and the others. Now Mom actually gets Nova to reawaken on his feet because Nova's like, I can't move, yada yada. But I guess you can say Mom kind of freaking, I guess, breaks some joints or something like that, snaps some joints back into place. Nova gets up and she kind of threatens him, like, trust me, I don't think you want me to carry your ass back to the base, otherwise you're gonna get your ass whooped.
And then he just goes nervously, like, I'll go help some wounded.
Yes. And then we get a funny comment by Leona saying, whoever marries Mom, they're gonna be in for a treat.
Nice to meet you, Kettle. Or like, this is the pot calling the kettle black, he said.
Yeah, it's funny. I do like the fact that they don't make Dai a dumb protagonist where he's like, what is she talking about? I do like the fact that Dai knows like some semblance of what marriage is. Stuff like that. So hey, Dai's a smart protagonist. I like smart protagonists.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of probably your comedic moment of the episode that kind of gives some lightheartedness. Now we find out that, well, obviously at the time they say, oh yeah, Chui's not there. Crocodine's like, I probably should have not given him my flute because he probably went to the Field of Death. So Pop, Hinekal, and Crocodine use Zoom to go to the Field of Death to go find him, but eventually they're gonna run into Baron, and that's how we see what's gonna take place next week. All I gotta say is to the marriage comment is Leona is probably drooling over marrying Dai probably one day. Well, maybe when he gets old enough, because I don't know if she wants to marry a kid.
Well, aren't they close to the same age though?
I think they are, yeah. So maybe she could marry him. Maybe not. Maybe she can't marry him because she's a princess. And
well, regardless, I wouldn't hold my breath. I wouldn't hold my breath on it because it's a Shonen Jump anime.
Yeah, like I said, you could. I guarantee you, I highly doubt that they would get married at the end of the series. Like, if you make your own headcanon, like, oh, events that take place, they would probably hook up and probably get together. So yeah, that's just the grand scheme of things. But it was a very good episode. Like we said, probably a better episode than what we saw of last week's episode preview. So any other thing you got to say about this episode?
Just my goodness, I'm just excited. That's all I'm gonna say, because I'm excited to see where this story is gonna go now. Because
yeah. So next week is gonna be Baron versus Crocodine and Hinekal, but apparently from what the next episode preview states, that seems like Baron must be fighting for another purpose. So it seems like he must be fighting for the purpose of good for the time being. I would envision he's doing that for now.
I hope so.
So. Yeah, but other than that, this was a good episode of Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai. Other than that, we're gonna get out of here. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. I know you're checking out this video, so leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai, and hit that subscribe button to not only my channel but my co-host channel, The Wolf. I'll put in the link in the description below. And when you do hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell icon to make sure you're up to date with whatever we upload to the channel. So other than that, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night. Until then, guys, stay safe out there. Peace.
Peace.